A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Turmoil has engulfed the Galactic Republic. The taxation of trade routes to outlying star systems is in dispute. Hoping to resolve the matter with a blockade of deadly battleships, the greedy Trade Federation has stopped all shipping to the small planet Naboo. While the Congress of the Republic endlessly debates this alarming chain of events, the Supreme Chancellor has secretly dispatched 2 Jedi Knights, the guardians of peace and justice in the galaxy, to settle the conflict. In the year 32 BBY, Jedi Qui-Gon Jinn and his Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi board the Trade Federation Flagship and await a meeting with Viceroy Nute Gunray. Unbeknownst to the Jedi, the evil Sith Lord, Darth Sidious, commands the Trade Federation to kill them and begin an invasion of Naboo. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan notice a gas filling the room they had been brought to and prepare themselves to fight their way to the ship's command deck. The pair are unsuccessful in reaching the Viceroy and head to their ship, only to find the Trade Federation had destroyed it. Thinking fast, the Jedi stow themselves onto Trade Federation landing crafts headed to the surface of Naboo. Queen Amidala of Naboo contacts the Trade Federation, making her displeasure with the blockade clear and inquiring about the Chancellor's Jedi ambassadors. The Viceroy assured her this action had been Senate approved and that no such Jedi had arrived. Shortly after, Queen Amidala and the other Naboo officials speak with the Galactic Republic Senator from Naboo, Sheev Palpatine, through a hologram. The Senator informs the officials that the Chancellor had confirmation his Jedi ambassadors had arrived. Suddenly, the holo communications cut out. Naboo Governor C.O. Bibble theorizes that this is the work of the Trade Federation and that an attack was imminent. Meanwhile, the Jedi make their way to Naboo's surface. While attempting to avoid the Trade Federation droid army's attention, Qui-Gon saves a strange creature from being crushed by a transport ship. This creature introduces himself to the Jedi, Gungan Jar Jar Binks. Although being cast out by his people, Jar Jar agrees to take the Jedi to a secret underwater city to ask the Gungans for their assistance in the current conflict. Leader of the Gungans, Boss Nass, refuses to help and casts them away as they begin to make their way to the capital city of Naboo. The Trade Federation begins their invasion of Naboo and are able to capture Queen Amidala and the other Naboo officials. The Jedi and their new Gungan friend arrive in time to free the Queen and several of her associates. They manage to escape the planet and urgently head to Coruscant, the home of the Galactic Republic's Senate. However, hyperdrive issues cause their ship to make a landing on a nearby planet, Tatooine, in hopes of acquiring parts to make these much-needed repairs. On Tatooine, Qui-Gon, Jar Jar, and astromech droid R2-D2 set out to the nearest town, as Captain Panaka, Queen Amidala's royal security advisor, informs Qui-Gon the Queen had requested one of her handmaidens, Padme, go with them. The 4 of them stumble upon a junk shop run by a Toydarian, Watto, with help by his young slave, Anakin Skywalker. Watto refuses to help Qui-Gon after learning he only had Republic credits, a currency worthless on Tatooine. Afraid of an oncoming sandstorm, Anakin offers shelter to the lost travelers. Here, Qui-Gon senses Anakin's abilities in the Force, strong enough that he believes Anakin to fulfill an old Jedi prophecy, a chosen one born to no father who could be capable of bringing balance to the Force. Qui-Gon eventually discovers Anakin's midi-chlorian count to be off the chart. Because of Anakin's ability in the Force, he is the only human who's able to compete in pod racing events. the group crafts a plan to enter Anakin into a coming pod race, wagering a bet with Watto. If we win, you keep all the winnings, minus the cost of the parts I need. If we lose, you keep my ship. Either way, you win. The next day, Anakin wins the pod race, acquiring the replacement parts for his friends, and freeing himself from slavery. Anakin leaves his mother behind to head with the Queen and the Jedi to Coruscant. Before the group could take off in their newly repaired ship, Darth Sidious sent his Sith apprentice Darth Maul to kill the Jedi and capture the Queen. Qui-Gon duels with Maul and narrowly escapes. On Coruscant, Qui-Gon speaks with the Jedi Council, informing them of his recent encounter with a dark side user. The Jedi become worried that they may be dealing with a re-emergence of the Sith, dark side Force users thought to be extinct. Qui-Gon also informs the Council of Anakin Skywalker in his belief that this child is the Chosen One. The Council tests Anakin, but ultimately deems him too old and harboring too much fear and uncertainty to be properly trained as a Jedi. At the same time, Queen Amidala addresses the Galactic Senate about the situation on Naboo. Discussions seemingly going nowhere, Senator Palpatine urges the Queen to call for a vote of no confidence in the current Supreme Chancellor. Palpatine, however, would be running for that newly vacated position and promised the Queen assistance. Fearing for her planet, the Queen decided to return to Naboo. The Jedi Council would send both Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan to accompany her in case of any further Sith involvement. Unwanted at the Jedi Temple, and with nowhere else to go, little Skywalker would accompany them as well. Back on Naboo, Queen Amidala attempts to locate the Gungans, having left their underwater city. Jar Jar leads them to the Gungan sacred place, and Amidala pleads with Boss Nass to unite against the Trade Federation. In the middle of the Queen's speech, handmaiden Padme steps forth to reveal that she was the true Queen Amidala, and that the individual they thought to be Queen was her decoy, a handmaiden named Sabe. The Gungans, impressed by her honesty and humility, agree to use their military forces to engage the Trade Federation in battle. The Gungans would lead a charge against the Trade Federation's droid army, while Padme, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and other Naboo security would rush the Naboo palace, trying to take back the throne room. The Battle of Naboo is soon underway. The Gungans press on with their attack, as several Naboo starships took off for an aerial attack on the Trade Federation command ship. Padme, the Jedi, and the other security officers would begin their infiltration of the Naboo palace. However, while making their way into a hangar bay, the Jedi are interrupted by Darth Maul. Anakin hides in a starship, waiting out the battle, as Padme and her security forces run off to continue with their pursuit of the throne room. Padme and her team are soon captured by droids and brought to the head of the Trade Federation Nute Gunray. But thankfully, due to the confusion of the Queen's double, Sabe appeared and was able to turn his attention to her, allowing Padme and Panaka to use weapons hidden in the Queen's throne to overpower the Trade Federation officials. Anakin, accompanied by R2-D2, accidentally starts up the starship he had been hiding in. Working by automatic pilot, the ship speeds off towards the Trade Federation command ship. Anakin, trying to take control of the ship, winds up inside the command ship itself. He deploys weapons and destroys the ship from the inside. As soon as this happened, the droid army fighting the Gungans began to malfunction and power off, gaining their commands solely from the now destroyed ship. Back in the hangar bay, Darth Maul uses his double-sided lightsaber to attack the Jedi. Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon battle the Sith Lord back across catwalks to a generator complex. Maul kicks Obi-Wan off of one of the catwalks as he lands on one below, separating the two Jedi. By the time Obi-Wan could return to his master's aid, all three Force users were separated by a force field created by the generators. Maul furiously stalks, waiting for the force fields to again open, while Qui-Gon kneels meditating. The force fields reopen, and Qui-Gon and Maul continue to battle. Just before Obi-Wan could reach the end of the force fields, he's trapped behind them once again, watching as Maul drives his lightsaber hilt into the chin of Qui-Gon, stunning him, allowing him to pierce his midsection with his blade. Obi-Wan watches in horror. The force field retracts, and Obi-Wan bursts towards Maul, eventually slicing the Sith's double-sided lightsaber in half. Maul, however, is able to force push Obi-Wan over the edge of a reactor shaft. Obi-Wan grabs onto a pipe jetting out of the shaft, hanging there while Maul taunts his prey. Catching Maul off guard, Obi-Wan leaps out of the reactor shaft, using the Force to draw Qui-Gon's lightsaber toward him and cuts Maul clean in half. Maul falls into the endless reactor shaft, defeated. Obi-Wan rushes to Qui-Gon's body, cradling him. Qui-Gon speaks his final words to Obi-Wan. "Obi-Wan, promise me you will train the boy. He is the chosen one. He will bring balance. Train him." Obi-Wan agrees. Soon after the battle's end, the newly appointed Chancellor Palpatine arrives to congratulate the Naboo on their victory, taking particular interest in the young boy who destroyed the command ship, effectively ending the conflict. Later, Jedi Master Yoda speaks with Obi-Wan, granting him the rank of full Jedi Knight. Obi-Wan reveals the promise he had made to Qui-Gon before his death. Begrudgingly, Yoda tells him that the Council will allow Anakin to become Obi-Wan's apprentice. That evening, a funeral is held for Qui-Gon, cremating his body as Jedi and Naboo officials watch on. Obi-Wan tells little Anakin of his future as a Jedi Padawan. 2 days after the end of the Battle of Naboo, the Naboo people, the Gungans, as well as their Republic guests, rejoice in the streets of Naboo's capital, putting an end to the heated battle with the Trade Federation, as well as making amends between their two civilizations.